let's look at this, the matter of INEC.
Okay.
You know, let's start off with INEC. We'll then come back later on to the other one. Yeah,
INEC, I've heard people talk about electoral reforms, electoral reforms, electoral reforms. As good as that may sound, you can't have a holistic reform when the human capital, the personnel that are going to manage the electoral process, they are not reformed. So that's where, you know, before now, all eyes were on who becomes the chairman of INEC. And that was one of the things that led to the establishment of the waste panel. Because those who were in opposition were agitating for an amendment to the constitution that the president should not be the sole appointer, that there should be stakeholders who should nominate at least 3 members after screening and interviewing, and then nominate these 3 persons to the president, and the president eventually would still appoint from amongst these 3 persons. So that was what eventually, you know, culminated into the waste panel report, because that 2007 election was greatly flawed. Even Yar'Adua accepted. Today, we are at that same crossroad again. Now, the last election was, there were a lot of, to date, there's still a lot of, you know, stories around that process. We've had a lot of reforms in INEC. Fantastic, you know, reforms, you know, card readers, biometrics, and, you know, but the problem had consistently been the management of these reforms. So even if you reform INEC today and then you have people who will compromise managing the process, we're still going to come back to this same position. So where we are not where we were in 2007. We are far away from there.
Okay.
And also,
in a positive way? Yes,
very positive way. And also, remember when the card readers was introduced, the Supreme Court did hold in some wiki and INEC that because it was not part of our rules, and so you can't reckon amended in 2022 to reflect all of this. So now, all of these are reforms that are consistent. So we shouldn't just look at this issue of, oh, reforms, and create jamborees and the humongous budget for our National Assembly members, where we can focus on people who should man the process. And also, INEC headship should not be a learning ground for anybody. Oh, yes, bring professor, come and learn.
Okay.
After all, we've seen, I don't have anything against professors. We have fantastic professors in Nigeria. But let's have people who have the capacity, who probably have gone through the process. And in that regard, we've seen professors also, you know, here we laugh, jokingly say, you know, Nigeria is a country where Agberos will write election results for professors to go and read. We've seen where professors are also prosecuted, you know, for electoral malpractices. So integrity should be the watchword as we, you know, look out for the next INEC leader, not just, you know, he's a professor and he's headed one department you know, and then you come to use INEC as a learning spring.
Okay, it's thank you very much, Liborous. And